Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is your girl Zaramatics once again, and here we make maths fun. At the end of the video, please make sure you hit the subscribe button, you like, you comment, and you share. In this video, we are going to be discussing basic algebra. An algebra is simply when symbols are used to represent numbers. The symbols usually used are letters of the alphabet. When we want to add in algebra, we're going to be seeing addition in algebra, and when we want to add, the terms with the same sign are added, and when terms with the same sign are added, the answer should have the same sign. For example, we have plus 3 and plus 5. The answer is 8, so it takes a plus. Now we have minus 2x, minus 1x, minus 5x. We are adding these three terms together. Because the signs are the same, the final answer will take the sign negative. So minus 2x, minus 1x, minus 5x will give us minus 8x. Now we have 2y plus 5y equal to 7y. Just note that any term without a sign in front is assumed to be positive. So 2y is plus 2y because there is no sign in front of it. So 2y is positive plus 5y, which is also positive, we get 7y. Now we have minus 9x raised to the power 2 plus minus 3x raised to the power 2. Because the signs are the same, both 9x raised to the power 2 and 3x raised to the power 2 have a minus sign in front of it. The answer will have a minus sign, which is minus 12x raised to the power 2. Now, when terms with different signs are added, the answer should have the sign of the larger term. For example, 7 and 3. 7 is larger than 3. So the answer takes a plus sign. So 7 minus 3, when you remove the bracket, 7 minus 3 will give you 4 plus 4. Now 5 and 3, 5 is larger than 3. So the final answer should have a minus sign in front of it. So when we remove the bracket, 3y minus 5y will give us minus 2y. So remember that any term without a sign in front of it is assumed to be positive, as in 90 plus minus 12t. If we remove the bracket, 12 is bigger than 9, so the answer should have a minus sign in front of it. So 90 minus 12t will give us minus 3t. Now, to subtract numbers or terms in algebra, we change the sign of the term on the right side. So if the term on the right side has a positive sign, we change it to negative, and if the term on the right side has a negative sign, we change it to positive. So 7 minus plus 5, if we change the plus sign, we have a minus sign. So 7 minus 5 will give us 2. Now here we have minus 5. If we change the minus sign, it will give us a plus. So we have 7 plus 5 will give us 12. So minus 15y minus 10y. So 10y, there is no sign in front of it, so it automatically means it is a positive. It is a plus. There's a plus in front of it, so we change it to a minus. So minus 15y minus 10y will give us minus 25y, and minus 10x minus minus 3x. If we change the sign of the term on the right side, which is minus 3x, it will become plus 3x. So minus 10x plus 3x will give us minus 7x. So if we also have minus 7x squared minus 5x squared, remember that this 5, there is no sign in front of it. It means that it is positive. So we change the sign to a minus sign. So minus 7x squared minus 5x squared will give us minus 12x squared. Now we have minus 18p minus minus 11p. So if we change the sign in front of the 11p, it becomes a plus. So minus 18p minus 7 plus 11p will give us minus 7p. Note that any variable without a number in front of it has a number of 1. So if we have, let's say we have a letter X, for example, and there is no number in front of it, it simply means it is 1x. If the variable is negative, it takes the number minus 1. So for example, we have a minus c. We have minus c is the same thing as minus 1c, as we can see on our screens. Now we want to talk about like and unlike terms. Like terms are simply terms that have the same variables. For example, we have 2x and 5x. The variables x are the same, so we can add them. 2 and 5 will give us 7. Then we write the x. Unlike terms are terms that the variables are not the same. We have x and y. X and y are not the same, so they cannot be added. So 2x plus 3y is still 2x plus 3y. Now we have minus 7y minus 3y. Both of the terms have y, which are like terms. They are the same. So we can subtract minus 3y plus from minus 7y. So minus 7y minus 3y will give us minus 10y. We also have 6z plus 6w. W and Z, they are not the same. So 6z plus 6w remains the same because they are unlike terms. They are not the same. Now we want to look at an expression that has like and unlike terms, how to simplify it. First of all, we put every term that has the same variable on one side. For example, we have 2x and minus 5x and 4x. So we put them together. We also put 4y minus 9y minus 7 together, and we put minus 5z minus 2z plus 8z together. Because their variables are the same, we put them together. And when we simplify, we get x minus 12y and 5z. So just note that any term without a sign in front of it is assumed to be positive. So 5z is plus 5z and x is plus x. So we get the final answer as x minus 12y plus 5z. Now we also have r raised to the power 2 minus 2s minus t plus 2r raised to the power 2 minus 5t minus 6r raised to the power 2 minus 7t minus s plus 5s minus 2t plus 4r raised to the power 2. We collect like terms together. As you can see, everything that has r raised to the power 2 is put together. We also have everything that has s, they are put together, and all that has t, they are brought together. So we have taken the like terms, everything that has the same variable, they are brought together. So we have r raised to the power 2 plus 2r raised to the power 2 minus 6r raised to the power 2 plus 4r raised to the power 2. It will give us r raised to the power 2. And we have minus 2s minus s plus 5s is 2s, and minus t. Remember, there is no number in front of the variable, so it takes the number of 1. So minus t becomes minus 1t minus 5t minus 7t minus 2t will give us minus 15t. So our answer becomes r raised to the power 2 plus 2s. There is no sign in front of 2s, so it means it is positive, plus 2s minus 15t. So that is the answer. So we have 2a plus 3b minus 4c plus 4a minus 5b minus 8c minus 6a plus 2b plus 12c. So we collect like terms. As you can see, every term that has an a, they are brought together. Every term that has a b, they are brought together. And every term that has a c, they are also brought together. So when we add and subtract the terms, 2a plus 4a minus 6a is 0. 3b minus 5b plus 2b is 0. Minus 4c minus 8c plus 12c is 0. So simplifying this whole expression, our answer is 0. Now we have another term, we have another expression, 2k raised to the power 3 plus 3k raised to the power 2 Notice that 2k raised to the power 3 and 3k raised to the power 2 are not like terms because the first k is raised to the power 3, the second k is raised to the power 2. So they are unlike terms. We cannot add them together. We can only add the terms that are the same. So we have 2k raised to the power 3, and we have 3k raised to the power 3. We also have 2k raised to the power 3. So when we collect like terms, we see that everything that has k raised to the power 3, we bring them together. Now everything that has k raised to the power 2, we also bring them together, and everything that has just k, we bring them together. So if we simplify this expression, we see that the answer becomes k raised to the power 3 minus 4k raised to the power 2 plus 4k. Now we want to look at multiplication in algebra. When we are multiplying, 3 times 3 times 3 means 3 raised to the power 3. 3 times 3 times 3 is not equals to 3 plus 3 plus 3. Look at it carefully. 3 times 3 is 9. 9 times 3 is 27. But 3 plus 3 is 6. And 6 plus 3 is 9. So 3 raised to the power 3 is not equals to 3 plus 3 plus 3. We also have another example, x raised to the power 3. It simply means x times x times x. That's x multiplying itself 3 times. 3y is the same thing as 3 times y. Now we have 5d raised to the power 2. It simply means 5 times d times d. The d is raised to the power 2. It means d is multiplying itself 2 times. We have minus 2x raised to the power 2. It simply means minus 2 times x times x. And we have 7xy. It means 7 times x times y. X square y, it means x is multiplying itself 2 times. So we have x raised to the power 2 times y, meaning that it is x times y. So just notice that when multiplying two terms with the same sign, the answer takes a positive sign. So if you are multiplying terms that are both positive, the answer will have a positive sign. If you are multiplying terms that are both negative, the answer will have a negative sign. So for example, we are multiplying 7x and 3x. Because both of them are positive, the answer is 21x, meaning that it has a positive sign. Now we also look at the second example, minus 5a. We have minus 5a. We are multiplying it by minus 2a. Both terms, they have negative sign in front of them. It means that the answer will be positive. So minus 5a simply means minus 5 times a, and minus 2a simply means minus 2 times a. If we bring like terms together, we have minus 5 times minus 2 and a times a. Minus 5 times minus 2 will give us 10, and a times a is a raised to the power 2. So we have our answer as 10a raised to the power 2. Now we have minus 2y. We have minus 2y times minus y. Minus 2y simply means minus 2 times y, and minus y, because there is no number in front of the y, it assumes the number 1, and there is a negative sign in front of the y, so it takes the number of minus 1. So minus y becomes minus 1 times y. So if we collect like terms together, we bring minus 2 times minus 1 together and y times y together. So our answer becomes 2y raised to the power 2, because minus 2 times minus 1 is actually 2. The terms have the same sign, so the answer will take a positive sign. But when multiplying two terms with different signs, the answer takes a negative sign. For example, we have minus 8y. We are multiplying it with 4y. Now, minus 8y is negative and 4y has a positive sign in front of it, because there is no sign in front of it, so definitely it is positive. So when we simplify, when we expand, minus 8y means minus 8 times y, and 4y means 4 times y. So if we take like terms, we bring like terms together, we take the numbers together, minus 8 times 4 will give us 32, and y times y will give us y raised to the power 2. So minus 8 times 4 is minus 32, and y times y is y raised to the power 2. So minus 8 times 4 times y will give us minus 32 y raised to the power 2, because they have different signs. So let's take another example. We have 7x times minus 5x. 7x is positive and minus 5x is negative. Because the signs are different, the answer will take a negative sign, as you can see. So 7 times minus 5 times x will give us minus 35x raised to the power 2. Just notice that when multiplying, minus a negative times a negative, that's minus times minus will give us plus. Minus times plus will give us minus. Plus times plus will give us plus. And plus times minus will give us minus. Now we want to simplify this expression. We first of all expand the expression. So 3p raised to the power 2, q raised to the q and r. We expand. When we expand, we get this. And then 4p q raised to the power 3. When we expand, we get this. And then we have 5q raised to the qr raised to the power 2. When we expand, we get 5 times q times r times r. So when we collect like terms together, we have 3 times 4 times 5 times the p. We bring all the p together, we have p times p times p, and we bring all the q together, we have q times q times q times q, and r times r times r. So 3 times 4 times 5 is 60. P, we have p times p times p is p raised to the power 3. Q times q times q times q times q, that's q multiplying itself 5 times, is q raised to the power 5, and r multiplying itself 3 times is r raised to the power 3. So when we simplify this expression and after collecting like terms, we now have 60p raised to the power 3, q raised to the power 5, r raised to the power 3, and that is the answer. Another example we are going to see is 2xy times 3x raised to the power 2y. We first of all expand. 2xy means 2 times x times y, and 3x squared y means 3 times x times y. So if we collect like terms together, we bring the numbers separately. The numbers are 2 and 3. We bring the letter x together and we bring the letter y together. So 2 times 3 will give us 6. X times x will give us x raised to the power 3, and y times y will give us y raised to the power 2. So 6 times x raised to the power 3 times y raised to the power 2 is 6x raised to the power 3 y raised to the power 2, and that is the answer. Now we have another expression. We have minus 5a raised to the power 2 bc raised to the power 3 multiplied by 2ab raised to the power 2 and minus 3c. We first of all expand, as we have seen. When we expand the whole expression, when we expand minus 5a raised to the power 2 b and c raised to the power 3, we get this. When we expand 2ab raised to the power 2, we get this, and we expand minus 3c, we get minus 3 times c. So when we collect like terms together, all the numbers are brought together. The letter A is brought together, the letter B is brought together, and the letter C is brought together. So minus 5 times 2 times minus 3 will give us 30. A times A times A is A raised to the power 3. B times B times B is B raised to the power 3. And C times C times C 4 times is C raised to the power 4. So when we simplify this expression, we get 30a raised to the power 3, b raised to the power 3, and c raised to the power 4. Now we have another expression, RS times minus 2ST times minus 3TU times 4 minus 4UR. So we expand as we have already seen, and we collect like terms. So after collecting like terms, we multiply it out. We multiply minus 2 times minus 3 times minus 4, we get minus 24. R times R is R raised to the power 2. S times S is S raised to the power 2. T times T is T raised to the power 2. And U times U is U raised to the power 2. So if we put this together, we have 24R raised to the power 2, S raised to the power 2, T raised to the power 2, and U raised to the power 2. Now we want to look at division in algebra. When dividing two terms with the same sign, the answer takes a positive sign. For example, minus 70 divided by minus 35. Because the terms they have the same sign, the answer becomes positive. But if we add, as we can see here, we look for the highest common factor in this case. For example, we have 15y divided by 5y. 15y simply means 15 times y, and 5y means 5 times y. So we look for the highest common factor that can divide the numerator and the denominator. So y can cancel out itself. The highest common factor of 15 and 5 is 5. So 5 divided by 5 will give you 1, and 15 divided by 5 is 3. Because y has cancelled out itself, we have 3 as the answer. The same goes for 6x divided by 3. 6x is the same thing as 6 times x divided by 3. 6 divided by 3 will give us 2. So 2 times x is 2x. Or when dividing terms with different signs, the answer takes a negative sign. So for example, we are dividing minus 15ab divided by 5ab. Because this is negative and this is positive, the answer will be negative. So we have 15 times a times b minus 15 times a times b divided by 5 times a times b. The variables, which are a, b, they cancel out each other. Minus 15 divided by 5 is minus 3. So we get minus 3 as the final answer because the variables have cancelled out each other. In this case, we have 12xyz divided by minus 8y. Now, this 12xyz is positive and minus 8y is negative. So 12xyz means 12 times x times y times z divided by minus 8 times y. So if we divide 12 by minus 8, we get 3 over minus 2. And y here cancelled itself out. So we have x and z remaining. So our answer will be minus 3xz all over 2. Remember that when we are dividing two terms with different sides, the answer takes a negative sign. So this is positive and this is negative. So the answer is going to be negative. Also note that in division 2, just like in multiplication, if you are dividing a minus divided by a minus, you get a plus. If you divide a minus by a plus, you get a minus. A plus divided by a plus, you get a plus. And plus divided by a minus, you get a minus. So in this example, we are going to see that we have to first of all expand each expression. Kmn is k times m times n. We expand each expression and we cancel out every variable that is on top, is on the numerator and is also in the denominator, cancels itself out. As you can see, n has cancelled itself out, k has cancelled itself out. So we have m and m remaining. Now 6 divided by 2 gave us 3, and 3 divided by 3 is 1. So 3 has cancelled out itself. So our remaining variables are m, and m, which is m raised to the power 3, and n, which is n raised to the power 2. So the answer is m raised to the power 3 all over n raised to the power 2. So in this expression also, we expand the expression. Minus 6p raised to the power 2q raised to the power 3r, we expand. We also expand the denominator. So every variable that is in the numerator and in the denominator, we cancel out, and after cancelling out, we have r remaining. So minus 6 divided by 3, we have minus 2. Because one of the terms is negative and the other is positive, the answer has a negative. So we have minus 2 over PR as the answer. Now 36x raised to the power 3y divided by minus 18x raised to the power 2y raised to the power 2. If we expand the expression, we have 36 times x times x times x times y, and minus 18 times x times x times y times y. So we cancel out the variables that are in the numerator and in the denominator, and what we have left is x here and y here. So 36 divided by minus 18 is minus 2. So we have to write down the minus 2. The remaining variable in the numerator is x, we write it down, and the remaining variable in the denominator is y, we write it down. So minus 2 times x is minus 2x, and divided by y. So the answer becomes minus 2x over y. Because the numerator is positive and the denominator is negative, and we are dividing, so the answer becomes negative. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your time. Please make sure you subscribe, you like, you comment and share. Drop your questions in the comment section. All your questions will be attended to.